Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. I am Mariah Monea. On this channel we discuss all things fashion, lifestyle, and beauty. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I hope by the end of today's video you consider subscribing. Today I did my summer makeup routine. I also tested out a few new products. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on the new products as well as seeing how I got this look, definitely keep watching. Okay, so when it comes to any makeup routine, you want to make sure you are moisturized, primed, and ready to go. So I have my moisturizer on, I have sunscreen, and I have my primer. Now another thing that I have been doing this summer to really make my makeup last, I notice I don't get as oily, I don't sweat as much, my makeup literally lasts all day. I got this tip from TikTok. This is the calamine lotion. I got mine from Target. You can get it pretty much from anywhere. This really works. It really does make my makeup last. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. Now I am going to give you a warning. After you put this on, you will notice kind of like a white cast over your face, but just hear me out. This product definitely works and it doesn't really alter my makeup application at all. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. Now because of the consistency, I like to take a cotton round like this to apply it. Otherwise it would get everywhere. So I just take it and I try to focus it on the areas I normally get oily, just because the oil is what really seeps through and kind of make my makeup not last. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply it all over my face. I then go ahead with my fingers and I kind of just press it in. Again, I like to focus on the areas that I get oily. Okay, so while I let that kind of set in, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my brows. I'm very simple when it comes to my brows. All I do is brush the eyebrow hair up. So just like this. I used to do my brows last, but I've kind of gone back to doing them first just because it makes it easier for me. Once I do that, I just kind of focus on my tail area because that is kind of where my hair is the most kind of like thin. It's not as full. So I just go ahead and basically trace out the edge and then fill out the tail of my brow, if that makes sense. And towards the front of my brow, if there's any like thin spots, I just go ahead and pretend that I'm drawing little like hair strokes, and that's literally it. So that's all I'm going to do for this brow as far as filling it in. Same thing, if I need to create any kind of like hair, I just swipe up. And so that's it for the pencil. Okay, so after I filled out my brows, I like to go ahead and kind of like carve out around them. The concealer I'm going to use to do that is the OG LA Girl Pro Conceal in Espresso. I'm going to take a little bit and literally just outline the top and bottom of my brows. And I'm going to be using a flat brush just like that. And this concealer is basically like maybe a shade or two lighter than my skin tone, so it's not too bright where it's going to give me kind of like that halo around the brows, but it's light enough to conceal. So especially like in the time where I need like a wax on my eyebrows, this does a pretty good job of just kind of like concealing it, covering it up, so it looks like my brows are a lot neater and, you know, just put together. So I'm just going to do the same thing on top. I'm then going to take a fluffy brush. I'm just going to go ahead and blend out the concealer. Okay, so brows are sealed. Let's go ahead and move on to the face because, girl, it's giving ashy and I'm tired of looking at it. So I'm going to go ahead again and be using my DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Tint. If you're wondering, I have shade 14. This is what it looks like. Now, I know this is a skin tint, so it's not going to give you the most coverage. It's literally just supposed to be like your skin, but better. But I love the glow I see people get when they use this. So I'm going to use this as kind of like my base before my foundation, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and apply it. I mostly see people just put it on their face. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully this color is a good match. Do like this. Okay, so I'm going to start with that much and I'm just going to blend it out. Okay, so as you can see, I've started to blend it in. I'm actually not mad at the color match. I think I'm going to go in and put a little bit more on though, just because I really want the glowy skin. And I feel like if I put a little bit more on, I'll get that even more. But so far, I'm loving how it just blends into my skin. I can already see a glow, which is amazing. Okay, so this is what 2 layers of the DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Tint looks like. I actually really do like it. I feel like this is going to be the perfect skin tint to just throw on when I don't want to wear foundation. It's basically your skin but better. I love the glow, so definitely impressed by this. We're now going to go ahead and move on to foundation though, because I want a little more of a full coverage today. So let's just go ahead and try out the new foundation I got. So again, I'm trying out the House Labs foundation. This is in the shade 490. It says to shake well before use. So that's what I'll do. This is their Triclone Skin Tech foundation. Okay, so I put a good amount on, and I'm just gonna go ahead and swipe so you can kind of see the coverage. So right off the bat, I'm not mad at the shade. I feel like the shade that was darker, I believe it was 500, it was just too red. So if they didn't have this one, I was going to try the next shade after that, but that one might have been too dark. So I feel like this is one that I can work with for sure. It might be one of those foundations where I really might have to mix to find my perfect shade, which is not out of the ordinary, to be completely honest. It's gotten better over the years, but some of the brands are still not catering to dark-skinned women, so it makes it a little harder to find foundations. But I feel like this one is definitely going to be doable. So I'm going to maybe go in to see if it's buildable. I'm going to put a half a pump on the brush and just go ahead and apply a little more. Even though right now it's looking like I have a filter on, I feel like it's pairing really well with the Yummy Skin Tint as well. So let me go ahead and add a half a pump just to see how that affects the coverage. Okay, so foundation is on. First off, I feel like this foundation is giving such a like smoothing filter to my face for some reason. I really do like that. It looks like it is definitely, if I was to put another layer on, I could definitely build the coverage. So I would definitely say this foundation is buildable. But I feel like it did pair well with the Yummy Skin Tint as well. But I feel like the Yummy Skin Tint is really doing its job. My skin looks the exact same from when I applied it. I still can see the glow, so I do love that. But my face is kind of like just one color. So now I have to go in and add some dimension to my face. So to contour, I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place. I believe it's called I Am Magic. Whatever it's called. I'll put it on the screen as well as the description box. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it here. I like to put it here. I put it on my cheekbone. There. And then a little tiny dots on my nose because it can get muddy if I put too much. So I always try to be careful of that. Okay, so yeah, here are the points I like to apply my concealer. I'm now going to use a foundation brush. This is a brush from e.l.f. and I'm just going to blend out the darker concealer that I placed to kind of bring some dimension back into my face. Okay, so I basically use the foundation brush just to spread it. I'm not going to go back in with that foundation brush, and I'm going to use it to buff it out. This is a brush from the Real Technique line. I believe it's the 200, at least that's what it says. So I'm now going to buff it into my foundation, kind of just going upwards. And then when it comes up here, I go down. I really do like the Juvia's Place concealer. It's very easy to blend. You want to be real careful when it comes to concealing your nose because the goal is to kind of make it look a little more snatched. But if you're not careful with placement, it can look even bigger. So just make sure you keep that in mind. So that's pretty good for me. So this is what we're looking like. We have our dimension kind of here. Y'all, I still see that glow. This Yummy Skin Tint, it's working overtime because I am glowing, but you can see the dimension here and then of course around my face. So now I'm going to go ahead and actually apply this blush because I believe DANESSA MYRICKS products are pigmented. I tested this out in the store and it is definitely pigmented. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the blush first. So this is what the blush looks like. I'm going to go ahead and twist off the cap. Okay, so this is the blush right here. It is from DANESSA MYRICKS. I'm going to go ahead and apply it with my fingers because I feel like it is really pigmented and I want to control where I'm putting it on. So this is it here. Okay, it's not too, once it goes on, it's not like overwhelming like those some of those blushes you put onto your face and it looks like you just put paint on your face. I love that this is already, even though it's pigmented, I can already tell it's going to be easy to blend. So I'm going to start with that amount right now. And then if I need more, I'll just go in with some more. Okay, so to blend it out, I'm going to use this Total Face Brush by the brand Studio Collection. I believe this is one of those brushes that like come in a set. And I'm just going to blend it out. I'm going to brush upwards. And I don't know if y'all can see that, but it looks so natural. It's such a pretty color. So right now I'm kind of happy with the amount that's on. I don't think I'm going to apply any more just because I'm going to go on top of this with something else anyway probably. And this should be good. So now I'm going to go ahead and highlight. I love to use this L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. This one is in the shade Honey. And I'm going to apply it here. And here, and then I put it towards the edge. I put it here and here, a tiny bit here, and then a tiny bit down my nose and a little here. So this is the placement right here. As you can see, underneath my eyes, a little around my nose, above my lip, down my nose, and then my forehead here. I'm gonna let it sit so it can kind of dry down a bit before I blend it out. I go back and forth with how I blend my concealer out. Sometimes I use a triangle sponge like this. Other times I use a beauty blender. Sometimes I use a brush. Today I feel like using the triangle sponge, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I just literally press, press, press until it's blended to my liking. Okay, so I went ahead and blended out the concealer. This concealer was about maybe 2 shades lighter. When I'm feeling extra, I want to go in with the concealer even lighter just to add some brightness to this area here. So that's what you're about to see me do. If you don't want to make it any brighter, you can stop right here and kind of skip this step. But for me, I'm going to take the same concealer. Again, this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Full Wear. It is really good. This time I'm taking the color Walnut, and I'm only going to put it here. And I'm going to go in with the actual brush this time. Okay, so I pretty much applied all of my liquid products. So I'm going to go ahead and set them with the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray from e.l.f. I really cannot get over this glow that I have, y'all. This right here, I can't tell if I like the foundation more or if it's this. I feel like it works perfectly together because this does not really have as much coverage as I would like. So my face is kind of beat right now. So this is not really due to the coverage, but the glow that you see is coming straight from this. Like, this is really good. So let me go ahead and set my face. Okay, so setting spray is now dry. I'm now going to go ahead and set the lighter places where I use that lighter concealer with this powder right here. This is the Translucent Ultra Blur powder from Laura Mercier. I have it in the Translucent Honey. I really do like this powder. What I like to do is get a little bit on my sponge and just tap it on the back of my hand before I go ahead and apply it. And I do the same method, which is just looking up, and I'm just going to set it. This is another product that is like filter-like. Every time I put this on, it really does blur and does exactly what I need it to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and set it. I don't like using too much because I don't want to give like the ashy look, but I do need to set. So I'm just going to go ahead and set. Okay, so while the lighter powder is sitting, I'm going to go ahead and apply my bronzer. I like to use the L'Oreal Infallible Bronzer. This is in the shade 550 Deep Dark. This is basically my contour powder and my bronzer. It's all I use. And then I just go ahead and put it below where I put the blush. And as you can see, that's already bringing some color into my face. I do love that it's kind of red. I know some people may not like red bronzers, but for me, I kind of really do like them. I also like to put a little bit on my nose. I use a smaller brush for that. And then I just carve out exactly where I put the darker concealer. And then towards the end, I'll blend this out even more. So this is how we're looking right now. We have everything set. So what I'm going to do now is move on to my eyes. I'm very simple when it comes to eyeshadow. I don't really like to do eyeshadow unless it's like something special, just because I don't like doing eyeshadow, to be completely honest. So I'm going to use the Coffee Shop. This is a palette from Juvia's Place, and I'm going to use the brown color that's inside. Let's see which one. I'll use this one right here, and I'm literally just going to sweep it on my eyelids like so. And that will be the only eyeshadow I apply. Very simple. Very easy. I love how it just gives like that warm, smoky look. So this will literally be the only eyeshadow I apply. Okay, and just like that, the eyeshadow is done. I'm now going to line my lower line with a dark brown eyeliner. I feel like it's less harsh than a black eyeliner, so it's a little more suitable for kind of like everyday makeup looks. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the eyes. The only thing I do, which is at the end, is apply mascara to my lower lash line, and that's it. So now we're going to go ahead and sweep off the powder from my face. To do this, I'm using my e.l.f. Complexion Duo Brush. I'm using the bigger side, and I'm just going to literally just sweep off any of that lighter powder. So underneath my eyes, around my nose, forehead. Okay, so I've taken off the lighter powder. I'm now going to add a little bit of blush just because I really already like my blush, but just for a little more of a pop. And plus I like how this blush right here comes with like a little highlight. So this is the Buttermilk blush from NYX. I have it in the color Filling Butter, and I'm just going to go ahead, use that same blush brush that I used before, and I'm just going to apply a little. Just like that. As you can see, it has a slight highlight, so I really do like that. Okay, so now I'm going to set my entire face with the Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Powder. Okay, so I went ahead and set my entire face. I thought I was filming, but I'm already starting on my lip combo, so I'm just using my favorite lip liner from Sephora. This is in the color Molasses. It is their gel lip liner. And I'm literally just lining my lips. I like to go over it a few times to get it the desired color that I really want. So that's all I'm doing. This is like my second, I guess, layer, if you will, of lining my lips. Okay, so next up is our lipstick. This is a liquid lipstick. This is the Perfect Tone from Black Radiance, I believe. Yes. And this is in the shade... I wish I could tell y'all the shade, but I do not see it on here. Maybe the shade is Perfect Tone. I don't know. It's their matte lip cream. If I can find it, I will link it. I'm just going to go ahead and take it and put it in the middle. I really do love the shade of this. It works so well with the lip liner. So I put it on my bottom lip really. And then I just press them together. So once I apply it, I like to go back in with my lip liner just to kind of reline. Okay, so you can stop right here if you wanted to. For me, I like a glossy lip, so I'm going to take the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. This is in the color Honey Talks. And I'm just going to apply that on top. And this is the final layer of the lip combo. Okay, and here you have it. This is the final look. I am definitely pleased. I love it. I love the new products I tried out. Let me know what y'all think. What is your go-to summer makeup routine? What products are you loving right now? Definitely let me know in the comments. Everything that I use will be linked in the description box. Let me know what you think of this face. And as always, I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.